What is going on, and welcome to another four-wheel drive talk episode. And friends, when I kind of reflect back on growing up, I did a lot of camping with my family when I was growing up. And like most of you out there who grew up in the 80s, you probably did a lot of camping in a big old tent on a cold, hard ground. Well, these days, well, heck, I like to sleep in a rooftop tent. Well, you know what? Most of the time, I'm in a rooftop tent, mainly because I like getting off the ground and away from predators. Plus, with many rooftop tents out in the market, you can get a decent, okay mattress in there to get a good night's sleep. Now, when I was out in Texas earlier this year visiting BTRoutfitters, I had the opportunity to test a bunch of gear, including the Eezi-Awn Stealth rooftop tent. Now, in today's video, I'm going to give you a rundown of the specs, features, my experience getting a first-hand action with this thing, and I'm going to give you the pros and cons as well. And at the end of this video, I'm going to reveal my scorecard, which is going to help you hopefully decide if this is the right option for you for your rooftop camping needs. But first, if you appreciate all the information that goes into making a video like this, crush that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps tremendously. And as a token for doing so, well, here is a cute squirrel. So thank you guys very much. That said, let's shift gears and hey, it's time. Pull up a seat in. Let's go. All right, now if you've never heard of EeziAwn, this is an industry-leading company that's been making rooftop tents, for nearly 40 years. Now, the company's main headquarters are in South Africa, and when you think about it, South Africa, Australia, and so forth, these are the granddaddies of overlanding, and the design and build of this tent really reflects the area's rugged terrain. Now, EeziAwn tents, awnings, and other overlanding gear are very popular worldwide for their durability and their functionality. These guys really take, there's a lot of tent manufacturers out there that make pretty decent tents. These guys make full-on expedition grade tents. These are tents that you leave on for generations, or you pass on to generations. And over the course of the time that this company's been around, the company has really gained quite a bit of a cult-like following because of, let's face it, the high quality materials and the smart design of its gear. The Stealth rooftop tent is seriously no exception to that. Now let's talk about some of the specs and features of this thing. The Stealth is an all-aluminum hardshell tent, so when it's closed, the aluminum shell protects the tent from wind, sun, rain, and basically any other elements. Now the tent also has gas struts that assist opening the tent in mere seconds. Simply open the 4 stainless steel locks on this thing, pop the tent up, and hey, you're ready for beer time. Now the tent is about 57 inches wide, 86 inches long, and 12.5 inches tall when this thing is closed up. So it's compact and aerodynamic when it comes to traveling. And from a weight standpoint, now this is a tad bit on the heavy side for a rooftop tent, about 200 pounds. But that includes the weight of the included ladder. And while on topic here, again, something you need to keep in mind when you're looking at this tent, it's not a fair comparison to others on the market because this tent really is designed and engineered differently with much higher grade materials that go into this. So it is going to weigh a little bit more. There's a mattress inside this thing, which I'm going to talk about here momentarily. So it's just something that as you're evaluating this tent and then deciding, and this is one of the things I meant to say earlier, I'm going to share with you things that I observed about this tent. I'm going to share with you my opinion about these things. You may agree, you may not, but ultimately, friend, at the end of the day, if you go out there and spend your hard-earned money on this particular tent, you're going to have a good idea of what to expect, where your expectations, where your compass should be pointing. So from a weight standpoint, it's a little bit heavier, but you're getting a much higher quality tent than a lot of the other noise in the marketplace. Now, speaking of which, the body of the tent is made from a heavy duty. This is a 280 GSM ripstop canvas. Now, this material is extremely strong, durable, and it's water resistant. And this is one of the things for me that is a big selling point about this tent. Unlike most clamshell rooftop tents that have very little room in the front of the tent, the Stealth has a patented scissor mechanics that provide 12 inches of clearance at the front of the tent, which, let's be real, it might not sound like a lot, but when you're inside this thing, that makes a world of difference. It makes a huge difference. if you've ever been in a clamshell tent, you're up like this. So the front of it right there is basically wasted space. You can't fit a bag in there. And if you do fit a bag in there, okay, you try to stick, is this gonna reach? Okay, you stick a bag in there and there's still, not the best representation, but you can see on the front there, yeah, come on, there's still wasted space up there. With this, you're able to use all that space, especially if you're a tall person like myself. When you get into a clamshell style tent, there is either your feet are hitting the front of the tent, or if you want to put your head there, you wake up in the middle of the night, you're going to whack your head on the roof. So it's a game over. So this thing really, that space you can really appreciate. Now the Stealth also comes with an integrated awning, which helps protect the rear entrance from the elements that you may be in. Now inside, you're going to find large storage pockets on either side of the tent. Now there are also other goodies inside this thing, like a 12-volt plug. You have a USB-C power connection. You have a power cable to connect your vehicle's 12-volt plug, and a LED interior light, which, let's be real, it's nice to have these nice little creature comforts that, again, you don't find in a lot of other tents out there. Now, the tent also has zip-up privacy panels on the doors and the windows. All the doors and windows also come with mosquito nets as well. Now, one thing I do want to point, when this thing's zipped up, it is dark in there. It is very dark. Now, the insulated floor helps prevent condensation inside the tent as well. Now, accessing the tent is actually pretty quite easy. You have this extendable 91-inch aluminum ladder, which you can store underneath the tent to keep it out of the way, and yet super accessible. In addition to that, the Eezi-Awn Stealth comes with the most comfortable mattress I've ever used in any sort of tent, camper, RV, bar none. All right, so I'm going to detour a little bit. I'm going to talk about this mattress because it really deserves it. Now, again, I've tested a lot of rooftop tents, RVs, campers, in every single one. Now, I'm very picky when it comes to, I'm not picky, but I just enjoy a good night rest. And the downside to a lot of most tents, most mattresses in tents, RVs, and all these other campers out there is they are just simply not comfortable. And for me, every single tent that I camp in, I always have my X-Speed Mega Mat. It's always with me. This is the first tent, hands down, that I consider you do not need an X-Speed Mega Mat, or you don't need an additional mattress or softening or anything that you would normally do. Whatever you do to make camping mattress more comfortable, you legitimately don't need this. This thing is hands down. When I got out of this tent, I knew exactly one of the things that I was going to be pointing out to you guys that really makes this tent just leaps different and better than I think a lot of other options on the market is the mattress is just simply so darn comfortable. At more than 3 inches thick and about 51 inches wide, 84 inches long, this mattress offers enough space for 2 adults. Now, when I tested it out, I was alone and I really felt, as cliche as this is going to sound, like I was on a cloud. I know, but just kind of work with me on this. The high density foam is extremely supportive. It's not too firm, so it's ideal setup for getting a comfortable night's rest, whether you're alone or you're with a travel buddy. So again, these guys really did a good job. If you're one that normally heads out, or one of your discomforts about camping is the uncomfortable mattress that you're laying on, well, you may want to take a look at this thing. This is really one exceptional, and I'm still talking about a stinking mattress. That should tell you enough right there. All right, let's shift gears and talk about some of the pros and cons. Now, of course, after you just heard me talking about the mattress so much, I gotta lead with the mattress. The mattress is absolutely next level comfortable. Then, of course, you have the extra room at the front of the tent is absolutely amazing as well. The speed of setup, amazing. This thing is blazing fast to set up, and it's extremely easy to set up as well. Then you have the integrated power ports, and lighting are an absolute nice touch as well. And the under tent ladder storage is really, really convenient. It's really well made, durable, and again, this is an expedition grade material that was put into this tent. And when you think about it, there's a lot of clamshell tents out in the marketplace. What these guys have done is they've taken a clamshell tent, supercharged to add a buttload of innovation into this thing and really raise the bar quite high. That said, when you have that level of quality and materials and just they're zigging when everybody else is zagging, they're bringing a product to market that, again, there's a big difference between a rooftop tent and one that is specifically designed for expedition style. This thing is meant to be used every single day and perform every single day like day one. It's really, really built well. With that level of quality and build, there, of course, I'm kind of warming up to the con that I have here. So the only con that I can come up with this thing is, for many, looking at this thing, the price is going to be high. There's really no way of sugarcoating this. It's $5,295 for this thing. But something you need to keep in mind here, as I put that out there, as I'm putting that as the only con that I can come up with this. I know with my X-Speed Megamat, in every other tent that I'm in, that's a $400 mattress. With this, you don't need it. So that brings it, if you're a picky sleeper like myself, well, you don't need any sort of additional mattress to go tucking in there or stuffing in there as well. And then on top of that, you just have this expedition grade material that's a tent that's legitimately built to last for a year. So, you know, price, it is what it is. If you want something, this is not, you don't buy a tent like this because it's inexpensive, because it's budget friendly. Not at all. This, if you want the Rolls Royce of tents, I mean, you know I'm a car guy, so I got to give you a car analogy here. This is the Rolls Royce of tents. It's really that good. Now, with all that said, let's take a look at the scorecard for this tent. All right, friends, and there you go. This was a fun tent to review because it's unlike any other tent that I've ever reviewed in the past. It just really, these guys really, the innovation that they stuffed into this thing, the materials that they used on this, it was fun. It was really, really fun to be able to review this and to be able to share this. Now, normally this time of the video, I would be jibber-jabbering about our giveaway, but that has ended. So you're going to want to tune into our next 4-wheel drive talk episode to see if you are one of the lucky winners. Now, I'll reveal the details of our next giveaway as well. But friends, this was, as I said, not to be broken record, but this was a lot of fun to share this tent here with you. Now it's that time of the video where, hey, I'm going to ask you to do all the YouTube stuff because, friends, we really do appreciate it, and it really does help with the channel tremendously. So if you found some value, if you can appreciate the level of work that we put into creating a video like this, so therefore you can make educated decisions on if this tent is valuable or not valuable, is the right one for you, I sure would appreciate you hitting that like button, hit the subscribe button, because we'd love to see you, and that helps with the whole YouTube algorithm. And last but not least, crush all notifications, little bell thing down there, so every single time that we come out with a new video, hey, YouTube's going to give you a heads up that that video is ready and primed for you to watch. But friends, there is seriously a lot of options that could be taking your attention right now on YouTube, and I'm honored that you have joined me with this review. But that said, now I am officially done. I'm going to be shutting off my camera, so you get out there, stay healthy, and find your adventure.